Hi, I'm Vish, and today we're talking everything cricket helmets. What you should be looking for versus what you shouldn't be looking for, what you should do when you buy a helmet, and what you definitely shouldn't do. And a lot of you folks have troubles when buying helmets online. I am here to help you solve all of those troubles. This is Wax Sports, and this is our helmet buying masterclass. Helmets are the most important piece of personal protection there is because they cover your head. Your head is probably the most important thing, as you'd already know. Helmets cover that, and therefore, when you buy a helmet, you want to walk away with complete confidence, knowing that should you cop a hit in the head, you have the best chance of being protected. And that's what these specialist helmet makers do, because they spend a considerable amount of time and resources into developing their helmets. They develop shell technology, they develop grills, they develop grill types, and not just someone who just slaps their name on a helmet and is good to go because your favorite player uses it. When you buy a helmet, go for specialist helmet makers only. Now that the basics are covered, let's talk price points. At the entry-level $100 mark, you get the Shrey Performance and the Missouri C-Line, the entry-level helmets in both their lineups. Talking about these helmets, the Shrey Performance first, you get a cloth cover at the top versus the Missouri, which is a plastic shell. The cloth cover is a little bit better because it keeps you cooler, especially on a hotter day here in Australia. Talking about grills on these, the Shrey has a mild seal grill, which has a powder coating on top to stop it from getting rusty. Probably not the most durable, but it should see you off for a while. While the Missouri, on the other hand, has a stainless steel grill, which is definitely more durable. On the inside of these, the Shrey one and the Missouri both come with bits and pieces of padding running throughout the shell. Not the most plush, but they'll do the trick. The one advantage the Missouri has is that it has this adjuster at the back, which allows to shape the helmet to your head size and shape. Moving on to the slightly more premium budget helmets, you get the Missouri C-Line Plus and the Shrey Armor. Now both of these are fairly similar to the more budget options. The biggest difference comes with the C-Line Plus, where you get this cloth cover instead of just a plastic top, and the internals stay the same. With the Armor, the add-on you get is padding along the ears, which will break the wind, especially in a particularly windy day, from getting in your ears. And the powder coating on this is black, which leads to a little less of a glare. Overall, these two are a slight step up from the budget helmets, giving you slightly more premium features, but still really good bang for your buck options. Moving on to the premium helmet range from these makers, you're looking at the T-Line and the E-Line helmets from Missouri and the Masterclass and the Koroyd ranges from Shrey. You get these in both steel and titanium, where you're paying for roughly between $200 and $300 for the steel range, upwards of $300 for the titanium range. To talk off about these, you look at the T-Line first. You get a full cloth cover. Here is where you also see the cloth cover on the peak, which you don't see on the C-Line Pluses. So you get a little bit more cloth running through this. You get padding along the sides on these grills for your ears. So on a particularly windy day, these ear pads will break the wind, make it more comfortable to wear. On the inside, they're fully cushioned, not just front to back, but also on the top, where when your head sinks into these helmets, it feels very, very comfortable. This is probably the most popular helmet we sell, given the fact that it's premium but also affordable enough, giving you great value for your dollar and offers you really good comfort as well as protection. Moving on to this E-Line helmet, it's pretty much the same as the T-Line series when it comes to the shell, where you get the full cloth cover, full cushioning on the inside, front, back and the top, and these padding along the grill for your ears to break the wind. The one difference is the grill itself, hence the name E-Line. It is a Missouri I-Line grill, which is patented Missouri technology, giving you benefits in a two-part system. Number one is the protection side of things. Because of this inner grill here, should the ball ever come through the grate, it will roll the ball up, ensuring the best quality protection here through the peak. And the other thing is the vision. Now the way this helmet works is, since you see this inner grill first, you ignore the outer grill completely, which is the one that usually restricts your vision. Therefore, this helmet is your best bet at seeing the most out of your helmet, offering you the best kind of vision. If you want to get something which offers the best vision, this is my recommendation. And now we move on to the Shrey lineup. First, we look at this Masterclass series, which has been the Shrey mainstay since forever. This has been the longest serving helmet. Now with this one, this is the first time you see stainless steel on a Shrey helmet. So the armor and the performance ranges were bold mild steel. This is stainless steel, which is a better build material. The grille on this is also a slightly different shape, making it a little bit more snug around your face, giving you slightly better protection and a more comfortable feel. The cover on the top is full cloth again, and you get this ear padding along the grills. Slightly differently shaped, but it's a good ear pad nonetheless. And you get this full cushioning system on the inside, which is similar to the performance and the armor lineup. Finally, we're looking at the newest addition to the Shrey helmet range, which is the Koroyd lineup. They're called Koroyd because the shell inside is made of these Koroyd tubes. Koroyd is this really high-end impact absorption technology where upon impact, these tubes will flatten out, offering you the highest quality of protection. And the other good thing about this Koroyd tubing system is the fact that this is probably the most ventilated helmet around. So if you are playing in a particularly hot climate, this is your best bet at keeping you the coolest because of all these pores running through, it keeps it very, very airy due to the breathability factor on these helmets. Now, another difference with the Koroyd helmet on the inside is the cushioning and the adjustment feature. With the other helmets like the T, E and the Masterclass series, you get padding to adjust the cushioning. With this one, you have this adjuster. This is a more intricate adjuster than meets the eye because it just doesn't tighten from the rear, it tightens from the sides too. So if you're someone who has a more oval head, with a simple twist, you can get this helmet to conform to the contours of your head, make it oval or round, tight or loose the way you deem fit. The other difference also is this cushioning that runs through the temple and across, giving you a much more cushioned fit along with this really high quality ventilation running through. So that concludes it for these helmets. Talking about the titanium side of things, all of these helmets come in titanium versions as well, which is effectively the same helmet where the grills instead of steel go to titanium. Now the benefits of going to titanium are A, titanium is significantly lighter to the point where you're looking at about 250 grams lighter per helmet. Each of these helmets in the titanium version will weigh roughly around that 750 gram mark for the medium sizes and go up or down from there depending on what size you are. The other benefit of titanium also is the fact that it is the strongest metal around, where for the lowest amount of metal, it gives you the strongest amounts of protection. So protection and comfort are unparalleled when it comes to titanium helmets. These are also what your test cricketers use. So if you're somewhat of a serious cricketer or you really love your cricket and spend a lot of time training or out in the middle, titanium is the best way to go. Yes, it's a little bit dearer, but the value you get for something so light is impeccable because when you're out there, you're focusing on the ball only and nothing else. Now that you know everything that needs to be known about helmets, let's talk neck protection. Neck protection came into play after the unfortunate incident involving Phil Hughes, where helmet makers have started paying more heed to covering the areas which are a little bit more sensitive just where the helmet finishes, which is along your neck region. Here we're looking at the stem guards from both Shrey and Missouri. Starting off with the Shrey neck protector, you get this really thick kind of neck protection where the underlay is really hard, high density foam, and on top of which Shrey apply a TPU shell which has a little bit of fiber on it. It's protective enough where you've got something that covers your neck, but it's probably not the highest levels of protection. One thing to also note is that this comes free with the Masterclass Titanium series and the Koroyd Titanium series. Moving on to the Missouri neck protector, this is something that has had a lot of thought that gone into making this. So talking about this, first you get this honeycomb mesh style structure where you get all these honeycomb style layouts with all of this being rubber, which is shock absorbing. And inside these little mesh squares here, you get Missouri proprietary Pro Foams. Now these are specially patented by Missouri. It is their special helmet technology where they take these foams and make them significantly denser to mop up the shock when that rocket hits you really hard along your neck region. So this is really well laid out. This stem guard itself actually protects you as well as a standard helmet would. So the protection standards on these are really high, and a testament to the quality of that is someone like a Steve Smith who wears a Shrey helmet had been using a Missouri stem guard to cover his neck. This talks to you about how much these stem guards from Missouri protect you and the kind of build quality and protection that's gone into making them. Now that you know what needs to be known about a stem guard, maybe you know what to get when you want something to cover your neck region. Moving on to the final part of the video, I'll be addressing the major concerns or issues people face when buying helmets, especially when buying helmets online. With these steps, hopefully it'll be much easier for you and a more seamless experience for when you buy a helmet of us or anyone else online to make sure you get the right fitting helmet and something that's extremely comfortable. The first thing that has been the biggest issue when buying helmets online is the sizing. How do I go about sizing myself? What's the right size for me? And what to do if the sizing is not the most perfect. Firstly, how to measure your head. For this, you need someone to help you out. Take a tape measure, wrap it around the crown of your head, have someone read it out for you, as that will give you a more accurate measurement of your head. Having that tape measure around the crown, make sure you wrap around the circumference, which can get you sized up for the right helmet. So that is how you go about measuring your head. The other area of contention is what to do if I'm at a borderline. Now, say you are a 58 centimeter head, but the helmet you're looking for go from 55 to 58 centimeters or 58 to 61 centimeters. Err on the side of caution and go for the bigger helmet, because A, when you're out there in the heat, your head will balloon up a little bit, which will make the size a little bit bigger. Going for that bigger size helmet is ideal because that will accommodate for that increase in your head size. And the other thing you can do to make sure it fits nice and snug is replace the padding at the rear with a thicker one, or if it's an adjuster helmet, tighten it to the maximum setting. That way you can ensure that you get a really good fit and you get the right size for your head. Finally, if you're switching helmet brands, what you want to do is measure your head once again and stack that measurement against the manufacturer you're switching to, because both Shrey and Mazuri have different size charts. So while you may have been a medium in a Shrey, you might be a small or a large in a Mazuri, or vice versa. What you want to do to be absolutely sure that you get the right helmet is to stack that measurement of your head against the manufacturer's helmet that you're going to be using to ensure that you get the correct fitting one and the right size for your head. Let's talk head shapes. Determining your head shape is crucial because that way we can decide what helmet suits best to you. Because when you're out there in the middle, you want a helmet that fits your head perfectly, not something that is the wrong shape, which will cause you a world of pain and also cause distraction when you're facing the ball. Talking about head shapes, there are 3 head shapes that we should be factoring in. One's an oval, one's a round, and one is an intermediate oval. An oval head shape, as the name suggests, is something that will be longer from the front and narrower from the sides. A rounder head shape will be something wider from the sides but shorter from the front, and the intermediate oval is anything that sits in between. Now, how do I determine my head shape, you ask? The best thing to do is grab a friend and grab a phone with a camera. Have your friend stand right above you and take your photo of your head from the top down, which will help in determining what's your head shape. The best way to do it is also to make sure your hair is flattened down so you can get an exact picture of your head shape, and that way you can decide what your head shape is, therefore deciding what helmet you get. For oval and intermediate oval helmets, my recommendation is go Mazuri. The helmet itself has an oval shell, but due to all of that extra padding inside, it fits an intermediate oval really well too. When you talk about round side of things, go for the Shrey series, because as you can see, it's narrower from here but also quite wide along the sides, which is perfect for someone with a really big head or someone with a rounder head. A bonus thing in Shrey ones, especially the choroid, is whether you're an oval or round, it doesn't matter because the choroid adjuster adjusts for both head shapes, giving you a round as well as an oval fit. That's not where it ends though, because Mazuri, as we have heard, has been working on the round shell too. So soon enough, you'll be able to fit round and oval shaped heads in a Mazuri, while Shrey are more ideal for round shaped helmets. Moving on, another issue that a lot of people face when buying helmets is the vision. With the new British standard regulations that have come in place, these grills on your helmets are fixed, which means they cannot be adjusted like you used to. So therefore, to get the best vision out of your helmet, the key thing to factor in is that the helmet fits you perfectly. Your head completely sinks into the helmet, which means you need to get the right size so that you can see the best out of it. The other thing that you absolutely do not want to do is wear the helmet incorrectly. So if you wear the helmet like this, it's an absolute no, because you're looking out of here instead of the peak here, which is the main gap. So what you always want to do is make sure the helmet, the peak here, is pushed down as close to your eyebrows as possible, because that pushes the grill down, offering you the best vision. So when you're out there facing the bowler like so, you can see very clearly out of your helmet, and not something like this where these grills take away more than half of your vision and then you miss the ball, you get hit in the head, or you edge it and you're gone. Finally, you've received your brand spanking new helmet. Before you get too overzealous and take it down to the nets or in a game, what you want to do is go home, put the helmet on, leave it on for about 15 or 20 minutes, walk around or do absolutely nothing with it. Don't use it for cricket just yet. What you want to do is get a feel for the helmet, make sure it's the right fit for you. After all the adjustments that you have done, if you need to, make sure it feels right. If it's still too tight, the helmet's too small for you. If it still feels too loose, it's too big for you. Get in touch with our team. We'll be more than happy to help you out, pick out the right size for you and get you sorted out with the right helmet. So this is all you need to know about everything helmets. With this knowledge, I hope you're now equipped to fit yourself with the right helmet every time you go out to buy one. If you still have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us via email, on our socials, or just give us a bell and we'll be more than happy to help you out.